Buenos días y bienvenidos. Good morning. Welcome once again to Tiempo. I'm Joe Torres. This morning we take a close look at the Institute of Theatrical Arts International, a bilingual theater celebrating a major milestone this year, 50 years in the Latino community. Can you believe it? We'll talk to the people behind the theater and learn the secret of their success. That's coming up later on in the show. Also coming up, in just a few days, the Loisaida Center on the Lower East Side holds its annual festival celebrating that largely Latino community. What a party it is. For more than 3 decades now, the street fair has lifted up the Latino heartbeat of the Lower East Side. This year, they remember the people of Puerto Rico, and we'll tell you about what special events are planned for this year's fiesta. That's coming up in just a few minutes. Pero en este momento, we focus on the National Association of Hispanic Healthcare Executives. It's a mouthful, but the association's mission: to increase the presence of Latinos in health administration professions and educate Latinos about working in the healthcare marketplace. They also have a signature 6-month mentorship program for undergraduate and graduate students, which has in 4 years already graduated 60 students. Joining us this morning, George Seppenfeld-Sestero and Geraldine Masso. Welcome to you both.
Hi, thank
20
you.
years, como pasa tiempo, how quickly the time goes. I mean,
muy ligero.
muy ligero, yeah, con prisa. How successful have you been in terms of advancing Latinos, not just into the healthcare positions, but to the boardroom?
Right. So I think any small nonprofit has challenges.
Yeah.
So when we first started, we were looking at the issue of increasing diversity and inclusion.
Yeah.
And we realized we really had to take a step back and look at mentoring, because if we don't have qualified individuals for that pool, then we're not going to be successful.
Okay.
So we looked at how we mentor them and how we encourage hospital CEOs through their boards of trustees to look at it's important to have Latinos on their boards of trustees, even though those trustees may not be billionaires.
Geraldine, take it the next step. What's the benefit of having Latinos in the boardroom?
Yeah, I mean, in addition to just increasing diversity and inclusion, the fact that when you go into a hospital, say that you know that the CEO is of Hispanic descent and you yourself are of that community. So imagine knowing that someone of your community and of your background and your culture is the one who's making the decisions in regards to what's happening in the hospital, in regards to the policies.
Yes. I mean, I want you to take it from the boardroom down to the entry level when you're in admissions and signing in.
Exactly.
You know, what difference does it make when you have the Latino up there and you're in admissions? How are you going to feel the effect of that impact?
Exactly. And not only in terms of language, right? Because there's that communication barrier. But having that rapport, you know, being able to talk with someone who's of your background, who's also a Latino, and say, hey, like, you know, can you help me in regards to this in my health? And that creates a better relationship, and a better relationship between that patient and that hospital and that person who's in admissions or helping them.
But George, is providing health care for Latinos any different than providing health care for anyone else?
Of course it is, you know, and the example I bring is there's a group called the Asian American Forum that deals with Asians. And one time the president said to me, you know, my mother, who's 90-something, won't go to anyone else but a certain Asian physician that speaks that, because it's not just the language, the culture, it's the nuances that are involved in our community.
And the same applies to Latinos.
Yes, exactly.
We've only got 30 seconds before our first commercial break, but I love, Geraldine, some of the policies and programs that help you boost the numbers. Can you get into that just really quickly?
Definitely. So AHHE has a mentorship program for undergrad and graduate students, and what we are trying to do is create workforce-ready youth, and, you know, individuals to go into hospital administration. And through this program, we develop professional skills, public speaking, all the skills that you would need to eventually become a leader in healthcare.
Yeah, so when you make it there, you know what you're doing and what you're saying.
Exactly.
All right. I want to ask you about the big anniversary coming up, 20 years. Congratulations. So sit tight, a few more questions. When we come back, we'll continue our chat about the National Association of Hispanic Healthcare Executives, now celebrating 20 years. Also celebrating a major milestone this year, the Institute of Theatrical Arts International, a bilingual theater, 50 years in the Latino community. We'll talk to the people behind the theater and learn the secret to their success.